going on, guys? Good morning. Well, Vancouver's calling my name. Gotta answer the call. On my way to Vancouver. This should be an easy week. I'm going down to get a leg built. So, you guys saw me get that really expensive bottom part of my leg, the microprocessor, but this time I'm getting a socket made. So just over time, your limb changes. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've been told it's called atrophy. So as your stump gets atrophy over the years and shrinks, the muscles shrink, and the socket starts to not fit. So I'm going down to Richmond, and Dr. Leah is going to... really bad car accident over there. Holy cow. Sorry, squirrel. Dr. Leah's going to cast me today, so what she does is, you'll see, but she basically casts my stump, and then they make a negative of that, which they pour casting into the cast. Okay, so they take the casting and they pour plaster in that, which makes a negative, and then from the negative they make a positive again. So they'll make me a temporary socket out of fiberglass tape. So I'll wear that for a couple weeks to make sure it's right, and then I'll go down for a permanent one. The reason they do that is just because the socket itself is like, I think Daddy Jeff's was like $2,500 to $3,000. So the price seems to be constantly changing, as everything else in the world is. So that's the plan. This socket's going to be the most unique one I've ever had, because I'm going to get the color inside the socket, so it won't be just white inside. I'll get a color, and then sorry, just getting the right lane here. I'm going to get an actual molded into it. Rover, stay in your lane, jeepers. I'm going to get my multi-tool actually molded into the socket, so it'll be really, really cool. So I don't think I've ever filmed this end of things, so I'm going to film this end of things, and then this week, depending on weather, I was going to do another film on Stanley Park. So I was going to take Lieutenant around Stanley Park. Stanley Park's a magical place. Jeepers, it's so nice down there. So I was going to do that. So weather today, 10 degrees. So we're going over the highway to hell. I got the camera rolling just in case I get something, but I don't know if I'll use it or not. We'll find out. It looks like it is going to rain pretty much all week, so that's why I was worried about Stanley Park, but rather be heading out the shoe swap, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So on the highway, and DJ, can you please roll that intro? Hey everybody, my name is Andrew Avley. After a workplace accident, I was left as a above knee amputee. I had a decision to make. Get busy living or get busy dying. Obviously, you only have one life, so I made a decision to get busy living, exploring every opportunity that's presented to me. Tune in every week for different adventures, both from accessibility standpoint to adventures with my family and friends. And every adventure begins with one leg at a time. guys. Well, I made down here safe and sound. You can see that the Coke was in the best condition, a little bit rainy and stuff, but other than that, traffic was a nightmare as always. I switched my appointment earlier to stay out of rush hour, so we'll see how that works out. You know, I gotta say, I come here, parking lot's empty, and I go to back in, and the owner is out here picking up garbage. To me, that says leadership, you know, like he won't ask of his staff to do it. He comes out and just does it. That's pretty incredible these days. So let's go in and see Dr. Leah. So there's a Mr. Lube right next door to it. So we'll go enter the ramp here. There's Grover. We're in the back alley here, and it's kind of weird. You enter through the back door. So, hello, peoples. Good. Ready for the circus? The circus. So you come here, and you sit in the kindergarten chairs. I think maybe it's a trick. You know, if you can sit in this chair, then you don't deserve a leg, or the other way around. If you can sit in this chair, then you do deserve a leg because you can get low enough. I don't know. So what they're going to do is they're going to take my liner off here and cast me. So they're going to wrap, just like casting your arm, they're going to wrap it around my stump. They're going to mark all the key lines in. And then, see, I'm sitting in the kindergarten chair.
Okay, sit, have a seat.
Oh, full-size chair this time. Ooh, living high.
Fancy, huh? I need to re-put on the liner just to make sure that it's in like a good position before you cast. It actually does
Looks good!
terrible.
Looks good!
Yeah. It looks better, don't you think?
I went to the makeup place before I came and I had them adjust it. See, it looks
Like
good.
it
looks good!
It doesn't look terrible.
Am I a stump model now?
Pretty close.
Yeah, pretty good. See, Terry. It would have been perfect for the movie.
Yeah.
But then nobody told me. Just saying.
But they
Okay, so what she's gonna do is she's gonna cast me over top the liner, and she's gonna take this off. See the buckle? She's gonna take that off because she doesn't want the imprint into the socket. Oh, I just turn this camera a little bit. So it'll be the socket will, now if you guys can imagine, so she's going to make a temporary one socket like this. And then what she does is she takes plaster and pours that in, which creates a negative of the cast. And then from the negative, then she makes a positive. She'll rewrap that with fiberglass tape. So I'll try that on, wear it for a week or two. I have broke one in the past, so I'm really, like Leah knows, I'm kind of sketched about that. So after that, then we make a permanent one that will be like, you know, with like a t-shirt design or whatever. I always do my legs with Terry. So Terry Fox, so this is one of his year's shirts. So all my legs are like that. That's the 35th anniversary one. So what year is this? 2015. So I might even do this year's shirt on this one. It's a blue color. I wish the Terry Fox Foundation gave black ones because they look better. My other one that they made a long time ago was like a really stretchy material, and it worked really, really well because it sucked it in. So, yeah. So she's saying by the end of the week I should have a temporary socket to bring home. And then she's also, I was just talking to her about this liner here. She's looking at getting one size smaller because when I'm wearing it, I'm getting like an air pocket there, an air pocket here. So, you'll hear me teasing her about Terry Fox. They're shooting a movie in Toronto about Terry Fox, and they were looking for right above knee amputees. And my friend in Abbotsford sent me the ad when Leah didn't send me the ad. So she cost me $7,500 because they were $7,500 for a week. So that's pretty good. Okay.
I guess I just pre-rejected you. I knew.
You're like a Tinder date. Nope.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh
what
my
do you want to
goodness,
do?
I'm so
Take
glad
that
I
off?
never had to. Yeah, I was just gonna do it on your leg, but maybe this is nicer.
So I'm curious, how many places still do the casting process over over the 3D scan?
Yeah, I would say like some.
Because Dave does a 3D scan.
Some, like for some things, like for transfemoral, I would say it is more common than for transtibial to do. They call it TF by numbers. So you would take measurements and then you can send it to a central fabrication place, and they'll just make you a socket based on
based on that.
Yeah.
Dave had does it matter if I get the buckle?
I want that exactly
Okay.
in the front, or exactly where you want it.
Okay.
I need a Sharpie up for that.
Okay. So I'm rolling this up, and you guys will. It's hard. I should have brought my 3D camera. So you guys will see the buckle. The buckle's right there. So she's taking off the long ski buckle part. So she's going to cast off that. And what she's saying is she's going to take measurements the whole way up, and she's going to write right on it. And then that helps with making a negative out of that. Does that make sense? It's a fairly, I was just saying, it's a fairly old technique, it seems like, but in a lot of ways it's good because then she can feel the muscle when she does it, whereas when she scans it, that's all the computer has is that scan. That makes sense?
Here I had to make my own casting pants.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the sweet pants.
Yeah.
Sure. Do you want this off? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Shoe on.
Yeah. Because I'm just gonna like take that off and then we'll put it back on.
I'll just drink my Terry coffee, which is another coincidence.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think I've ever told you guys that story. Every time, I don't know, like weird things throughout my amputee journey has lined up with Terry Fox. I'll put a thing on the screen of all the dates and everything that's lined up. The day I signed the papers to be amputated, it was like, it must have been like January or February. I came out from WorkSafe after signing the papers. And right on the front lawn, which is really weird that time of year, was a sign for the Terry Fox run. So I don't know why that sign was there, but it kind of set me off on journeys, like dates and when Terry started his run. Like it's bizarre. So I do a lot of stuff with talking to kids about Terry Fox because, again, I'm 6 inches above the knee like Terry. 6 inches or 6 centimeters. Sorry, mixed up. But yeah, it's the same as Terry. Same hospital as Terry. Same time as Terry. And now I have a coffee that says Terry. So what do you guys think? So she basically, will recap what she did is she wrapped my liner with saran wrap. And then what she did was maybe put on those cool pants. So they were just like basically net pants. But I was saying to her, I don't know why they don't buy them that way, but that's how they are. So then she put those on. And then on the net pants, she did measurements all the way down. Just measuring how round it was, as I showed you in that clip. So from there, what she did was took the plaster of Paris and basically casted the whole thing. Now, that ink from inside goes on the plaster on the inside. That makes sense? So that she casted it, and then because she wrote on those pants with ink, it transfers over to the casting part. And then when they're doing the negative, when they're pouring the goo in, or the plaster, those measurements transfer over. So then she has a measurement to base on. And it also gives them in the back, they can shave it down to match. So it's like a real art, because like, you know, like I said in videos before, like most of us, a centimeter is nothing, like, you know, but to these people that's huge. So they're measuring within like 1/8 of an inch, like very small. And that's the difference between a liner fitting or not fitting. And you know, I've had that before where you get a $3,000 liner, a $4,000 liner, or socket I should say, and it doesn't fit, and then you get pressure sores and it never fits. So it's like, you know, the more precise she can make it now, the better it is down the road. Okay, so that's the end of day one. So Leah's gonna make the negative, then the positive, and then I'm gonna come back in 2 days later and try it out, and then she'll basically look for pressure sores on it, and then they'll shave that down. And then at the end of the week, everything goes right, fingers crossed, I'll go home with a check socket or temporary socket so I can try it for a while. The fear with temporary sockets is they're just not strong. So I've cracked them in the past. So let's get to the hotel before rush hour hits. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to do part 2 on this series just because there's so much information in the first one, and I really want to do a documentary for people that are going to become amps or people that are just interested in the amp process. So I will release part 2 very shortly here. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, and I encourage you to hit that subscribe button and that like button. If you didn't, then I just appreciate you watching it. Thanks so much, and I'll see you on the next one, part 2. Dun dun dun.